Discovering minerals, the stuff that rocks are made of. What are minerals? Minerals come in a wide variety of colors, shapes, and sizes, and they are considered to be very beautiful. Minerals are naturally occurring. That means that they are created in nature, and they are also solids. Geologists can classify minerals by their distinct chemical properties. That means they must look at what's on the inside. Most minerals can be found in rocks, and they are rarely found on the surface of the earth. How do geologists study minerals? Geologists must perform chemical tests to determine the chemical properties of minerals in order to classify them. When we studied rocks, we looked at the physical properties, which means the observations we could make with our five senses. But the chemical properties of a mineral can only be observed with more than just your senses. Many times geologists need a microscope, special X-ray equipment, or a scanning electron microscope to identify minerals. How do geologists classify minerals? Even geologists have a difficult time identifying minerals. This is because there are over 4,000 known minerals and approximately 80 to 100 new ones discovered every year. Minerals are also difficult to identify because the physical properties of a mineral can vary. For example, these 5 minerals all have very different physical properties, but they are actually all examples of the different varieties of one mineral, quartz. Their chemical properties, what's on the inside, is what tells us that they are quartz. That's why chemical tests must be performed to help geologists see what makes up a mineral on the inside. Let me show you a few examples of chemical tests. We will be using a variety of different chemical tests throughout the remainder of this unit, but I'm going to introduce you to just 3 of them to start. The first is the streak test. The streak test is performed by rubbing the mineral on a porcelain plate called a streak plate. Geologists then look at the color of the streak that the mineral leaves behind. Here you can see 2 examples of the mineral hematite. Hematite comes in a variety of colors, but it will always leave behind a red streak, which tells geologists that their chemical properties are the same. Geologists also use a special hardness scale to measure how hard a mineral is using a hardness test. This is an example of the hardest known mineral on Earth, the diamond. Talc is the softest known mineral on Earth, and it can be even broken down easily into a powder and used in your homes. And finally, the magnetism test. The magnetism test is performed by using a magnet to determine if a mineral is attracted to the magnet or not. This is particularly helpful if you were looking at 2 minerals that may seem the same by looking at their physical properties. But if one is magnetic and the other is not, you know that their chemical properties must be different, making them different minerals. I'm going to show you 3 examples of minerals. The first is feldspar. Feldspar is generally pink to orange in color, and it is the most common mineral on Earth. Most clays are actually the weathered form of feldspar, which means feldspar flakes off and breaks down to form clay rocks. Feldspar often appears in very small crystals because it flakes easily. And feldspar is a member of the silicate group of minerals, which are minerals that contain silica and oxygen. Our next example is quartz. All three of these are examples of the different varieties of quartz. Quartz are also a type of silicate mineral. Remember, that means that they're made of silica and oxygen. They are also often found in surface rocks. They are resistant to weathering, which means unlike feldspar, they are hard to break down, and they are commonly found in sedimentary rocks. Do you remember what a sedimentary rock is? Some examples of minerals. This is galena. Galena is a shiny, bluish to silver in color mineral. It is also a major source of lead. Galena is sometimes found with silver. It is also found in many igneous, metamorphic, and sedimentary rocks. Do you remember when we looked at rocks and we found small flakes of silvery, shiny pieces? Some of those silvery, shiny pieces may actually be the mineral galena. Galena is also cube-shaped and metallic, making it very unique. And it is a member of the sulfide group of minerals, which are minerals that contain sulfur. This is an important note of caution. Strict safety rules must be followed when geologists study galena. Galena is a form of lead sulfide, which means it contains lead in addition to sulfur. When ingested, lead is poisonous in all forms. In order to reduce the risk of ingestion by hand-to-mouth contact, it is important that geologists wear gloves and wash their hands very well after handling galena. Do not put galena near your face or mouth. Do not touch your hands to your face or mouth while handling galena. We will be using all of these strict safety guidelines when we study galena in our lab. Okay, let's review. Today we learned rocks often contain pieces of minerals. There are many varieties of minerals. Scientists need to perform special tests and use special equipment to classify minerals properly. And extreme care must be used when studying galena. It is important that we stay safe when we study minerals in our lab. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, if you have any questions, you can rewind, pause, or review any part of this video as many times as you need to. If you're still unsure or you have something to comment on, you can write it in your star binder and bring it with you to our next lab. Thank you again and enjoy!